a veteran of NBC, Fox, and now at CNN. He makes his beat debut right here, special for the new book, Countdown 1960, about the Kennedy-Nixon election and its echoes. Chris Wallace, like many, I've been watching you. I'm thrilled you made the time. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. I don't have to die now. I've gotten my eulogy right here and now.
Sure. Well,
it's kind of depressing to see yourself aging in about 2 minutes of pictures. But thank you for having me. I very much appreciate it, Ari.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm glad to have you. We whipped through from NBC days, which goes back to your link to this very broadcast network here. What you did at Fox, being in the thick of it. I want to jump right into that, and we're going to definitely get to the book because I know people are interested in that. But just take a look at something you were right in the center of, and then ultimately, of course, left Fox. I want to look back to that 2020 election period. Take a look.
American votes in a presidential election are actually counted in a foreign country. These are serious allegations.
Their machines caused thousands of votes in one Michigan county to be switched from Donald Trump to Joe Biden.
This is an extremely flammable situation, and the president just threw a match into it. He hasn't won these states. Do you still question whether or not Joe Biden won the election fair and square?
Chris, I stand by my vote to object on January 6th.
Congressman, you say anything that distracts from that.
Major settlement in the lawsuit accusing Fox News of airing lies related to the 2020 election.
The settlement to be paid by Fox News, roughly $787.5 million.
How did you approach your role then? And was Fox wrong to air so much material that amounted to, at times, election misinformation?
Well, the way I handled my job then was the way I've handled it during a half century in the business. And, it's funny, Ari, because I get praised a lot. People will come up to me and say, I really appreciate how even-handed you are, how fair you are. And I started at the Boston Globe in 1969. And being fair, being even-handed, it wasn't an object of praise. It's what kept you from getting fired. It was like being accurate, spelling somebody's name right, getting the address right. And the fact that it is, to a certain degree, that I have gotten praise or stood out for doing that, to me, is kind of depressing. I think it's a bad commentary about our business and how it has changed over the years.
I understand that. I have someone who worked at Fox not praising you. And we only learned about this from private text messages. And as a longtime reporter, you know how this works. I'll read you what was said, and you get a chance to respond. Laura Ingraham says, my anger at the news channel is pronounced. Her making a distinction, apparently, between what some news anchors do and what she does. Tucker Carlson texted, it should be. We devote our lives to building an audience, and they let Chris Wallace wreck it. Your response?
Well, I'm employed, and Tucker really isn't anymore, so that's part of my response. Look, I had a very good 18-year run at Fox, and they never messed with me the whole time. As you can see from some of those reports, I asked tough questions. I booked the toughest guests, and I never got second-guessed by the executive floor at Fox. I sensed a change in Fox as time went on, particularly after the 2020 election, particularly after we correctly, but we're the first to call Arizona on election night in 2020, and the Trump campaign was very upset with us, and a lot of Trump supporters were very upset with us, and they began going to other news outlets like Newsmax that were even further to the right. And I sensed a change in Fox at that point, and that there was less interest, even in the news side, in sticking to the facts, sticking to the truth, and telling that audience to try to win them back what they wanted to hear. And they paid a big price for it. You talk about the misinformation about the elections, and, I have to say I'm not unhappy that Fox had to pay $787 million, because there ought to be a price to pay when you don't tell the truth and you deliberately misinform people about things that the evidence in that case showed that higher-ups at Fox knew wasn't true.
You thought the hefty penalty was a good thing for trying to correct some of their mistakes.
Look, there's a price to pay. You know, there are laws about libel and defamation, and clearly Fox settled because they thought they were going to lose the case and have to pay even more.
Fascinating. You have interviewed 7 presidents. There's no automatic Sunday show dispensation. You have to earn every one of those interviews through your work, efforts, reputation. And so I want to look at one that I think you remember was made a splash at the time. Bill Clinton, who served as president, going back and forth with you about national security and bin Laden, important, heavy stuff. For those who don't remember, let's take a look at that.
Why didn't you do more to put bin Laden and al-Qaeda out of business when you were president?
I'm being asked this on the Fox network. You did Fox's bidding on this show. You did your nice little conservative hit job on me. What I want to know is...
I'm asking a question. You don't think that's a legitimate question?
No, it was a perfectly legitimate question, but I want to know how many people in the Bush administration you asked this question of.
Did you ever watch Fox News Sunday, sir?
I don't believe you asked them that.
We asked plenty of questions.
Educate us about how you approach that, how it feels in the moment. He was alleging that you were somehow biased and that you were raising things in a political manner or feeding the audience so it would repeat back a political view of things. You had a back and forth. But since I have you here, first time ever interviewing you, and you've done that with more than one president, tell us about it.
Well, it was a pretty memorable interview. If you go on YouTube, last time I checked, which was a number of years ago, there were 10 million views. You know, to put it in context, there had just been a docudrama on ABC called The Path to 9/11, and they had been very critical of Bill Clinton. And in fact, there'd also been a Pulitzer Prize-winning book by Lawrence Reich called The Looming Tower that were critical of Clinton and said that he hadn't done enough to put bin Laden and al-Qaeda out of business when he was president. So I simply asked him a question. You know, that's what we do for a living. I later asked Terry McAuliffe, I said, have you ever seen him sort of fly off like that? And he said, have I ever seen him fly off? We call that the purple rage in the White House.
Did you feel anything in the moment? Did you feel something that then you had to screen to be professional? Or you've done this so much, it was just one more day?
Well, no, I mean, it wasn't just another interview when you're getting called out, even though he was the former, not the current president of the United States. But look, you could put up clips of me with Donald Trump in 2020
sure.
when I talked to him about the cognitive test. And I said, you know, you talk about the fact that you aced it. I mean, it wasn't so hard, Mr. President. They have a picture of an animal, and you have to identify it as an elephant. I mean, that's what we do for a living. And, you know, we're there to seek the truth, to seek heat, rather light, not heat.
Yeah.
And, you know, not to make friends. And not to take, and Ari, not to take sides, to be equally tough, whether it's conservative Republican or a liberal Democrat.